Good evening and welcome to a marvelous Monday. As you can see, we are here at night today because today we're going to tell a little bedtime story. It is the first day of fall. It is September 20th, 2021, and it is also a full moon. So I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate the first day of fall and a beautiful full moon except by reading some great books about the moon. So today I actually have two books for you. And as I said, once I'm done, I'm getting myself ready for bed. I've got my jammies on. I've got my stuffed animal here ready so that I can get ready to go to bed. So today, first, we are going to be reading a Caldecott winner. And the name of this story is called Kitten's First Full Moon. Kitten's First Full Moon. Here we go. It was Kitten's first full moon. When she saw it, she thought, there's a little bowl of milk in the sky, and she wanted it. So she closed her eyes and stretched her neck and opened her mouth and licked, but Kitten only ended up with a bug on her tongue. Poor Kitten. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. So she pulled herself together and wiggled her bottom and sprang from the top step of the porch. But Kitten only tumbled, bumping her nose and banging her ear and pinching her tail. Poor Kitten. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. So she chased it down the sidewalk, through the garden, past the field, and by the pond. But Kitten never seemed to get closer. Poor Kitten. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. So she ran to the tallest tree she could find, and she climbed and climbed and climbed to the very top. But Kitten still couldn't reach that bowl of milk, and now she was scared. Poor Kitten, what could she do? Then, in the pond, Kitten saw another bowl of milk, and it was bigger. What a night! So there she is, up in that tree, and she sees that bowl of milk. So she raced down the tree and raced through the grass and raced to the edge of the pond. She leaped with all of her might. What do you think's gonna happen? Poor Kitten. She was wet and sad, tired and hungry. Because was that a bowl of milk? No. It was just the reflection of the moon in the water. Poor kitten. So she went back home. And there was a great big bowl of milk on the porch. Just waiting for her. Lucky kitten. The end. What a night. Kitten's first full moon. All right, so that was story number 1. Story number 2 is a classic, and hopefully it will get you ready for bed. It is called Goodnight Moon. Perfect story for a full moon and the first day of fall. Here we go. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of so look at all the details. The cow jumping over the moon, and there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. So those were the pictures in the room. And 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Good night, nobody, and good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars, and good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. And they turned out the light and said good night. The end. Good night, moon. So I hope you enjoyed our nighttime stories. Let's see if we can find this beautiful moon outside. Here we go. Here we go. There's that moon. Look at that beautiful full moon. Good night, moon, and good night, everyone. MPS proud, just us and books.